Hey everyone, George here, the Disney Family Man, coming to you with another video. What's going on, everybody? So today I thought I'd talk about the new Disney Genie app that's going to be premiering soon for all Disney guests that go into the parks at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And I have my own personal opinion on it along with everybody else because when all the news broke out, there was an uproar online and on social media with all Disney fans alike through the Disney community. And so I thought I'd come on and talk about my thoughts and opinions on it. I waited a little bit of time to do so because I kind of wanted everything to kind of die down, so to speak, and that way I could get my, thoughts and opinions on this. There's some things that I'm okay with, and other things that I'm a little bit hesitant about until I actually see it for myself. I'll reserve judgment for the whole entire thing. This is just my opinion up front of what Disney had released during the process of, what information that they had given out at the moment. So I'm only going by what was told to us as of right now, but I will reserve judgment to give, my full opinion then once I experience the app for myself. So starting off with the Genie app as a whole, and this is where it kind of gets a little bit confusing. The Genie app itself is free. It's a free app that is connected to the My Disney Experience app for Walt Disney World and then the Disneyland app. I believe that there's no other type of download for it. I don't think it's an actual individual app. I'm not 100% sure. I believe it's in the existing apps for Walt Disney World and Disneyland. If I'm wrong about that, please comment down below, but I believe that's what I've heard. Anyway, the app and the systematics of the Genie app are free for you. It basically gives you a lot of hints and tips and kind of customizes your vacation at Walt Disney World or Disneyland based on your style of choice, the way that you vacation, the number of people in your family. If it's all adults with kids, it customizes to that. That is, I think, is really cool. That's a nice feature as far as Disney being your digital personal kind of customized tour guide, so to speak, and it helps you plan easier, than what the regular apps will do. Because let's face it, booking a Disney vacation requires a lot of time and patience because everything now is digital. There's virtual queues, there's reservations you have to make online. It's not just walk up and, hey, I'm here, let's do this. You basically have to plan ahead, and the Genie app assists you with that while you're amongst in the park itself, while you're going through your vacation. So that, I think, is really cool. Now, moving on to the fundamentals of what's within this app other than what I just explained to you right now. Attached to the Genie app is what's called Genie Plus. And what this primarily is it's FastPass, but it's not called FastPass. FastPass has been off for quite some time. During the shutdown from the pandemic and everything, that when everything shut down and then everything reopened, FastPass did not return. And this was something Disney was planning on doing anyway. Just COVID happened to push it up further. And it all started at Disneyland Paris, where they started paying for the Fast Passes. Well, that kind of gave us all a hint that it was going to come to the U.S. For the domestic parks. So anyway, Disney Plus not Disney Plus, Genie Plus has taken the place of the traditional Fast Pass, where with Walt Disney World it was Fast Pass Plus, where you're allotted 3 Fast Passes per person per day. And then after a certain time, whatever's left over, you can make a Fast Pass. But you're only allotted up to 3 per person per day for the duration of your stay for the Fast Pass Plus. The Max Pass at Disneyland was basically a digital rendition of the original ticketed Fast Pass, where you get the paper out of the kiosk. It was the same exact notion, but digitally on your phone. I loved the Max Pass. The Max Pass was absolutely brilliant. That I wish that Max Pass would have came to Walt Disney World and they would have just kept that system. But essentially, everything costs a price, and so now has Fast Passes or through Genie Plus. It is now $15 per ticket per day. So what that basically means is if you have a family of 4, it's 15 times 4 times the per day of the length of your stay. And that includes attractions like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Splash Mountain, Cali River Rapids, Expedition Everest, like those kind of rides. So, I mean, that's, if you really think about it, I mean, that's not too terrible. I mean, we all wish that, Fast Pass would have stayed free and it was complimentary to all Disney guests. But unfortunately, I think it's coming to the part where the parks are filling up more than ever, and it's just going to keep. It's the number of people that attend the Disney parks are going to keep growing because Disney's going to keep growing. It's going to keep expanding. It's going to keep growing. It's going to keep evolving. It's, as Walt Disney himself said to his original park, Disney, as long as there is imagination left in the world, Disneyland will never be complete. And even with Walt Disney World, he said, we have one thing here that we didn't have at Disneyland, is the blessing of size. There's enough land here to hold all the dreams and all the creativity that we could possibly imagine. So, to be able to do that, you have to, create a revenue, and with the amount of people that are being there, you're ended up shoulder to shoulder anyway. And this is where I look to the positive side of it, as the glass half full, so to speak, that if they were to keep the regular Fast Pass system, the Fast Pass line will eventually exceed wait times longer than the standby line ever would. And I think that's what it was looking at, and that's where Disney consumed all that data and ended up coming up with this type of way of controlling that. Just like with the theme park reservations, they have now found a way to have complete control of how many people are in the park at a time per day. It's the same way with the Fast Pass system. So in order to get people to say, hey, I'm willing to, pay that money, and then there's people that say, I don't feel like it. I could stand in a standby line and I'll get my money's worth and save my money. That's fine too. But that's where it will level out. That's where the balance will be, where they can get people through the Fast Pass line and also still have a consistent standby line as well. Now, hold on a second, folks, because there's more. Tied to the Disney Genie Plus is, and I think this is where the uproar came, was the lightning lanes. Now, with the lightning lane type of system, that's what the Fast Pass line is, so to speak. They changed it to the lightning lane. And what the lightning lane does is, for those high anticipated attractions such as Rise of the Resistance, Space Mountain, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Flight of Passage, possibly for Ratatouille, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and then soon to be Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I'm for sure that they'll utilize this because Disney already knows of the anticipation of the crowd level that they're going to have. I mean, look at every single Disney hotel on the Walt Disney World property is completely booked for the 50th. And this is before Tron and Guardians. Keep in mind that. This is before Tron and Guardians. This is just during the beginning phase of the 50th anniversary for Walt Disney World, with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opening, the Enchanted Fireworks at Magic Kingdom, and Harmonious, the Nighttime Spectacular at Epcot. That's just the tip of the iceberg, and yet every single hotel is booked. Now come down the road, when everyone's anticipating on Tron and Guardians opening up, think of those crowds. So, mind you, I digress, getting back to what I was saying. So, with those high anticipated attractions, you have to pay an additional price tag on top of if you wanted to do the $15 per person per day to get those fast passes on the Genie Plus, so to speak, that if you wanted to, say you wanted to ride Rise twice, depending on the availability that's available to you at that time, if you wanted to ride it twice, you would have to pay however much. Disney didn't disclose that amount yet. It could be $15 or $20 per attraction per person. So just to say, if it's $15 just for that attraction and you want to ride it twice, that's $30 per person if you are guaranteed those spots to ride Rise or Flight of Passage or what have you. That is, I think, where the fan base community just went oblivious online. And I mean, there's even petitions out right now to get the Genie app, taken down for when it, becomes available to us Disney fans. Because I guess what people are saying is, you're already taking away a complimentary notion that we had after forking out so much money on this vacation. And this is where I agree with the fans, and I kind of am for them, that you're already putting out an arm and a leg for this vacation. Then you take away the complimentary bus service of Magical Express. You have to pay for transportation now. Now you have to pay for fast passes. And then on top of that, even if you pay for the fast passes, there are individual attractions that you have to pay separately. It's almost like you have to pull out a personal loan just to go on one vacation at a Disney resort. And that to me is where I think Walt would be very disappointed, because he wanted everyone to experience his parks, his world, his imagination. He wanted everyone to be on that same level. Yes, did he have private tours? Yes, did he have an exclusive Club 33? Yes. But it was a couple things that were on a higher tier to say, hey, if you have the money, you could pay for it. It wasn't for every little inkling of your vacation that you had to put out a dollar bill for. That is where he and his brother Roy kind of clashed, because Roy took care of the finances, Walt took care of basically everything else, and Walt wanted to just keep on, going forth with projects and let's do this and let's do that. And Roy was like, whoa, we have to look at our budget plan here, so I mean, I do understand that in a sense, because you can't go bankrupt. You can't, especially the way the world is today and of how long the Disney parks were shut down, and, of what the cruise line is still going through right now. They're trying to get, everything up and running. That I do get, you have to find a way to balance it. But I think that there could be some alternate ways of, possibly trying to find something that can appeal to everyone. Why not make all the attractions available to the Genie Plus, but maybe make the price a little bit higher? So that way you're not paying $15 per person for all these attractions and then an additional $15, $20 individual attraction. So if you make it, just say $50 per person per day. Yeah, that's a lot, but you're covering everything, and that is including if you happen to have, if you park hop. So that would help to say, hey, I can make reservations for that as well. So if you make it as a high, I think it's basically like a reverse psychological thing, that if you say, okay, well, $15 per person, so if you have a family of 4, just to say, $15, that's $60 per day, not counting the additional $15, $20 per person for each individual attraction that is not part of the original Genie Plus. They're just part of the Lightning Lane. For the additional, the higher end attractions. That, to me, I think needs to be looked at. And I don't know how it could be done. That's my personal opinion on it. But as far as it as a whole, I understand Disney's approach. But I think as far as the way of how they're doing it and pushing everything out at once, especially where everyone is vulnerable and they're trying to get up on their feet. And, people have been canceling their vacations left and right, trying to figure out the best time to go with everything that's going on in the world. But in order to do so, to maximize your fun, put out more money that you don't have. So I see it both ways. I see it strategically as a business standpoint, but I also see it as a person who is living on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month income that deserve to have a vacation, and they want to have that vacation. And Disney should really, be flattered that fans are in an uproar because they want to come to their parks. But can they actually afford it? Is it just for the rich? And that's where it seems like it's leaning towards if Disney continues to push in this direction without being very careful of how much they're doing at once. So that's my opinion on it. Please comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Tell me your opinions on it, whether you agree with me, disagree with me. I love to hear from you guys. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay Disney. Bye, everybody.